Hi everyone, we're going to solve this problem using the quadratic formula, and the first thing you need to know is that we need to have this equation here put in standard form. It is in order. We have x squared first, then x, and then our constant, but the problem with the quadratic formula is you don't want any fractions. So our first step is to clear fractions. And the way we do that is by multiplying through by the common denominator. Now our common denominator here is 4. So we have 4 here and 4 and 2 there. So I'm going to multiply all of this, and I'll just take each piece. You have to multiply everything by 4. So 4, 4, 4, and 4. So 4 goes into 4 one time, and 1 times 3 is 3. So we have 3x squared. Then go ahead and put your minus. 4 goes into 4 one time, so that's just going to be x. Alright? Or you could also put negative 1x if you wanted to. Okay. And 2 goes into 4 two times. 2 times, go ahead and put your negative. 2 times 1 is 2. And 4 times 0 is just 0. Now it's in standard form, and we can write down our A, B's, and C's. So here's your A, B, and C. So A equals 3, B, and you take whatever's in front there. So B equals negative 1, and C is going to be negative 2. So what you're going to do is plug all these in. So B is negative 1, negative 1, A is 3, and C is negative 2, A is 3. So we're going to plug that in and then simplify. So let's plug all that in. We have B is negative 1, A is 3, and C was negative 2. Now, what I find useful is to take care of this part first. We can also take care of this part. This part right here is just going to be 1. Negative times a negative is positive. And your plus or minus. This part here is called the discriminant. Kind of tells you what kind of solutions you have. I don't know how to spell discriminant, but it's called the discriminant. So let's just take care of this part. So go ahead and put the square root here. And you take care of this. Negative 1 squared is negative 1 times negative 1. That two negatives make a positive, so that's just going to be 1. Alright? And always use parentheses. Now, for this latter part, we take all three of this together. So, we have two negatives here. Two negatives make a positive, so that's going to be plus. And then you just multiply these three together. So that's 4 times 3 times 2, and that's 12 times 2 is 24. Okay, so make sure you separate these two out. Now, 2 times 3 is 6. Alright, simplifying this further, especially this part, we get x equals 1 plus or minus square root of 25, 25 over 6, and that simplifies even further as 1 plus or minus square root of 25 is 5 over 6. So I'll put that here. We have x equals 1 plus or minus 5 divided by 6. Now, the reason you have the plus and minus is because of the square portion. So what we're going to do is split it up now. And that way we're going to take the plus part. So x is 1 plus 5 divided by 6. We also have 1, and take the minus 5 divided by 6. Therefore, we have x equals 6 divided by 6, and x equals 1 minus 5 is negative 4 divided by 6. This means x is 1 and x is negative 2/3. So your solution set would be 1 comma negative 2/3. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.